Hi folks, how are you all doing today? I'm back with a brand new video again. So let's discuss about while loop today. Okay, if you have not been watching my previous videos, please do go back to my channel Folx and do watch all my playlists. Okay, all the videos in the sequence so that you'll understand what exactly we have been doing right in the Applab series, game series, and programming concept series, right? So we have started off with a new series now where we have already discussed about variables, right? So a variable is a container which can store or hold some value in it, right? And then we have already discussed about a for loop in the last session, and today we're going to discuss about a while loop. Okay, along with that we'll discuss about do while also. Okay, while loop and do while loop. Okay, so a while loop is a conditional loop basically. So before talking more about while loop, so let's first discuss about what a for loop is, right? So a for loop is something, it's like a for loop is an iterative loop, right? For loop is a iterative loop which iterates itself again and again continuously for certain number of times, right? So it is an iterative loop which executes itself a certain number of times. That means this certain number of times is already known by you, right? You actually know how many times your for loop is getting iterated because you have starting value, ending value, and also you have interval value, right? That means it has initialization condition, initialization expression, conditional expression, and it also has incrementing or decrementing expression. This we saw in the last session. Of course, a for loop is also used as infinite loop, and what is the syntax and all, how to use it, we saw that, right? Today we're going to learn about while loop, right? So why was I discussing about for loop is, in a for loop you actually know how many number of times your loop is iterating, correct? But in a while loop you really don't know about that. Okay, so while loop is a conditional loop basically. So unlike the for loop where you actually know how many times your loop is going to iterate itself, while loop is only iterating itself. Sorry. So a while loop is used when you don't really know how many iterations are possible in the loop. Okay. So when while loop will actually continue to execute until a condition becomes false or while a condition is true. Okay. So while a condition is true, it executes itself, right? So while a condition is true, it executes itself. Okay. Or until a condition becomes false, it executes itself. And while loop has only one condition in it, yeah, you can actually write a simple condition or a complex condition according to the need and the requirement, right? So if you're writing a complex condition in it, that just means that you can use this logical and operator or logical or operator based on the condition you're writing. Okay, so let's see the syntax of a while loop, right? So syntax of a while loop, to start off with this, I'm just writing this thing which I wrote here is almost similar to a for loop itself. Okay, like you can see here, I have initialization expression. See, I have initialized a variable here which is I equals to 0, and then I wrote a while loop, correct? That means here you have the ending expression until when your while loop is going to execute, and then you have something written. You also have interval here, right? So this almost is like a for loop itself. If you're executing this, you will see that the value will start off at 0 and it will go till 9, because I, when it is less than 10, that means 9 is less than 10, so this is true only, so it executes for 9. But once I is becoming 10, then it stops the execution because the condition is becoming false, right? So that means for I equals to 0, this will be executed. I equals to 1, yes. 2, yes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, lastly 9. 9 is less than 10. Yes, true. It executes. And then I becomes 10. Why? Because I plus plus is there. No, so that's why we are incrementing the value. Okay. So 10 is never less than 10. Correct. So obviously this is false and this will not get executed after that. Let's click on run and check this. Yeah, you can see the output here, right? 0 to 9 is there because the I value should be less than 10 always, only then the while loop will execute itself. If not, this is not going to execute itself, right? So this is how a while loop will work. Okay, and you can have complex conditions also. Again, like you will be using the and operator or operator to use or to write a complex condition. Again, you have to be very careful while writing conditions with while loop because so it can actually become a infinite loop very easily. While loop can be infinite loop. So while you're just writing while true, that's it. It becomes infinite loop because while it is true, it starts executing and it never stops the loop itself, right? So, and if you're writing any condition which is not proper, right, or which is improper, definitely you should face this issue that while loop becoming a infinite loop. Okay, so while using while loop and while writing the condition inside the while loop, you definitely have to be more careful. If you're not careful or if you're reckless while writing the conditions, definitely a while loop will become infinite while loop and it continuously executes it, right? Sometimes your system might crash. Okay, yeah, that happens with a while loop. Okay, so be careful while writing the conditions and let's see how a do while loop works, right? So a do while loop is like while loop will execute itself only if the condition is true, right? So a do while loop is not like this. First it executes and then it checks the condition. Okay, so at least executes once. Even if your condition is false, it executes itself at least once. Okay, but while loop doesn't have that chance, right? Because first there's a condition, only then you can execute it. So let's see the do while loop syntax first. So I'm writing do and then we can write console.log. You can write anything here. This is a do while loop. Let's suppose I'm writing this. Okay, you can write anything, it's up to you. And here we'll be writing the condition using while. Okay, so the condition, again I'm letting you know, you have to be very very careful while writing the condition, right? So while so if you want to execute this for certain number of times, right? So then you can actually start off. Let's suppose I'm creating another variable j equal to 1. Okay, while j is less than equals to 5, can we write this? Now we have to think about it, if it is becoming a infinite loop or no. So while j is 1, first this executes. This is a do while loop, will execute one time because we wrote do, and then based on the condition of while, it checks. So j 1 less than equals to 5. Yeah, so what will happen again? It becomes infinite loop, right? Because there is no incrementing or decrementing for j. So it is always less than 5 and it continuously becomes infinite loop again. Okay, that's why let's do something like this. I will write j plus plus. Okay, first after executing this, I will write j plus plus. Now I will say uh, while j is less than equal to 5. Okay, so that means this will execute once. 1 becomes 2 now. Again it will execute. 2 becomes 3, 4, 5. After that it stops execution. Okay, let's check if the same thing is happening or not. Hopefully this should, yes, this should work and this is working. So you can see this is a do while loop is getting executed 5 times because we actually did the same, right? So first time it is executing this and j is becoming 2 automatically without doing anything, right? So j till 5 it will execute and after that it is not going to execute because the condition itself became false. Okay, so this is about do while loop. Do while loop first executes and then checks the condition. Okay, and while loop first checks the condition, then executes. This is the difference between a while and a do while loop. Okay, I hope you understood about while and do while loop. You just have to remember this thing while using while loops or do while loops. You have to be very careful while writing the conditions. Okay, if you do not have this incrementing thing, that means you are writing infinite loop. Okay, I will also write and show you the infinite loop syntax, infinite while loop, but I will definitely not gonna I will not execute it, okay, because code.org might crash if I just execute this. So that's why, right? So while, let's suppose you write this while one, okay, and then this, and you write whatever is inside, whatever the statement you want to write inside this, you can write. This will be executed continuously forever and ever and ever, again and again, okay. How? Because while one is always considered to be true only, so that's how it will execute forever and ever. And you can write something like this also, while true. This is also an infinite loop, okay. So be careful while using while and do whiles, because yes, anytime it can become infinite loop, okay. So not only while one, while true are infinite loops, you can actually make this also as an infinite loop if you just comment this I plus plus. That's it. That's it. It's gonna execute forever and ever and ever, again and again again. Okay, because I is always less than 10 only, right? 0 is never getting incremented. So 0 is always 0, 0 is always less than 10. That's it, it became infinite loop. Okay, so be careful while using these things, right? Don't really mess your things up with um, with these things, right? So yeah, this is all about the while and do while loops, and in the next section we'll discuss about something new, something new, okay, a different concept again. Maybe I should be discussing about the conditions in the next session, okay. Yes, this was all about loops. You learnt about for loop, you have learnt about while, do while, and infinite while loops, right? So this was all. Please do go back to my channel, watch all the videos in the sequence, right, to for a better understanding. And I will be meeting you all in my next session. Okay. Until then, what you will have to do, you will have to watch all my videos. Please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel, Folks Hub. Bye bye, guys, and have a great day, all. Thank you so much for watching.